The curse of Ojuola's mirror. Long ago, in the village of Oren, there lived a woman named Ojuola, famed for her beauty. Her skin was as smooth as river stones, her eyes bright as moonlight, and her hair flowed like the evening river. People would say that Ojuola's beauty was a gift from the gods. Children, women, and even the old ones would pause in admiration whenever she passed by. But Ojuola had a prized possession, a mirror like none anyone had ever seen. It was said to be a gift from a mysterious traveler who passed through Oren, a mirror framed with intricate carvings of twisted vines and leaves, shining with an unusual glow. People marveled at the mirror, for mirrors were rare, and none had ever seen one so beautiful. But Ojuola kept it to herself, hidden away in her small hut, where she would gaze at her reflection day and night. Unbeknownst to the villagers, Ojuola's mirror held a dark secret. The elders of Oren whispered that Ojuola had struck a deal with a spirit from the forest, a spirit who lived beyond the world of the living, in the shadows of ancient trees and silent rivers. This spirit promised her beauty that would last beyond her years. And the mirror, beautiful as it was not merely glass but a doorway that bound her to the spirit world. Each time Ojuola looked into the mirror, her beauty grew, her hair shinier, her eyes brighter. But every glance into the mirror took a part of her soul. Day by day, she became less of herself, more bound to the spirit's power. One night, under a full moon, Ojuola sat alone in her hut, gazing into the mirror as usual. But as she admired herself, she noticed something odd. Her reflection smiled back. Yet Ojuola had not moved. Her heart skipped a beat, and a chill ran down her spine. The reflection smile widened, and then, in a voice as hollow as an echo, it spoke, "Your beauty belongs to me now, Ojuola." Ojuola gasped, her hands trembling as she tried to pull herself away, but it was as though her eyes were trapped by her reflection. The face in the mirror continued to smile, and slowly, the reflection began to change. Her bright eyes turned dark and empty, her skin pale, and her beautiful, flowing hair looked twisted and lifeless. With a scream, Ojuola tried to throw the mirror down, but it was too late. Her reflection grew and stepped out of the glass, becoming a figure as hollow as a shadow, yet wearing Ojuola's face, a twisted version, hollow and cold. The figure spoke again, its voice echoing with a cruel laugh. "You wished for beauty eternal, but beauty comes at a price, Ojuola." The villagers heard Ojuola scream and rushed to her hut. But by the time they arrived, all they found was silence. The mirror lay cracked on the floor, and Ojuola was nowhere to be found. Her hut was empty, filled only with shadows and a strange chill. From that day on, no one saw Ojuola again. But villagers passing by her hut at night claimed to hear a soft voice calling from within, whispering, "Come, look into the mirror." Those who dared peek inside would swear they saw shadows moving in the cracked glass, or a faint, eerie reflection that looked almost like Ojuola's face, smiling back at them. Over time, the people of Oren came to fear Ojuola's old hut and her cursed mirror. They warned their children never to go near it, for fear that their reflection might reach out, take hold of them, and pull them into its world, just as it had done to Ojuola. And so, the mirror lay undisturbed, hidden away in shadows, a silent reminder that sometimes, the beauty we wish for may come with a dark price. The people of Oren learned to live without mirrors, for none dared to look into the glass, fearing that their reflection might one day speak back. And as for Ojuola, she remains a shadow in the village's memory, a tale told to young ones about the dangers of vanity and the price of making deals with spirits that belong to the hidden world of the forest. Years passed, and Ojuola's story became a warning, shared in whispers around fires at night. The villagers believed the mirror was a cursed object, and no one dared to remove it from her hut. The elders often said that Ojuola's spirit was trapped within the mirror, bound to watch her cursed reflection forever. But one day, a young girl named Mareo, curious and fearless, heard the tale of Ojuola's mirror from her grandmother. Mareo was different from the other villagers. She had always been drawn to mysteries and longed to uncover secrets hidden from ordinary eyes. And so, against all warnings, she decided to see the mirror for herself. Late one evening, under a silver moon, Maria slipped away to the forgotten hut. As she approached, the wind grew still, and a chill ran through the air. She stepped into the dusty hut, her heart pounding. In the corner lay the mirror, cracked and covered in cobwebs. The light from her lantern reflected faintly off its glass. Maria held her breath and gazed into the mirror. At first, all she saw was her own reflection staring back, timid and uncertain. But as she looked closer, the air grew thick, and the room felt colder. Her reflection began to change, her eyes darkening, her face becoming pale and hollow, until it was no longer her own face she saw. It was Ojuola. Ojuola's reflection stared back at her with a sorrowful, haunting gaze, her mouth forming silent words. Maria could barely make them out, but as she leaned closer, she heard a faint whisper, "Help me, break the curse." Maria stepped back, feeling a mixture of fear and pity. She realized that Ojuola was not just a cautionary tale but a trapped spirit, bound to her own vanity by forces beyond her control. Taking a deep breath, Maria whispered back, "How can I help you?" The reflection's eyes flickered, a glimmer of hope crossing Ojuola's face. In a voice that echoed like a soft breeze, Ojuola's spirit told her the secret: only someone willing to break the mirror spell and free her soul will save her from an eternity of sorrow. With trembling hands, Maria lifted a stone from the ground and raised it over the mirror. She hesitated, feeling the weight of what she was about to do. But as she looked back into Ojuola's pleading eyes, she brought the stone down with a shattering crash. In that instant, the mirror broke into 1,000 pieces, and a gust of cold wind rushed past her, carrying with it a faint, relieved sigh. Maria felt a warmth wash over her, and for a brief moment, she thought she saw a glimmer of Ojuola's face, smiling in gratitude, before fading into the night. The curse was broken, and from that night, the hut fell silent. The villagers noticed a calm in the air, as though a weight had lifted from their land. They spoke of Maria as the brave girl who had freed Ojuola's spirit and released the village from the haunting shadows of the past. But they never forgot the lesson of Ojuola's mirror. The villagers of Oren would always tell the story as a reminder that some things, like beauty and vanity, can come at a price too steep to pay, a warning to always be wary of what lies beyond the world of the living. And to this day, when the moon is full and the wind blows soft, some say you can still hear a faint, contented sigh in the village, as though a spirit, once lost, has finally found peace.